the victim in this latest attack. And let's not forget that Benjamin Foster has been convicted twice before of assaulting and attacking women, effectively strangling them to the point of unconsciousness, beating them, domestic violence to the order of a serious felony. And for some unknown reason, he was able to strike a deal and only serve, I think, about 700 some odd days in a jail in Nevada. But now here we are a couple of years later, and the allegations are, I mean, just beyond comprehension. The way we've heard it discussed is horrible, the scene where this latest victim was found. Her name, by the way, is Justine Siemens, and she's on life support tonight, as I mentioned. Again, she was found in the same home where they are currently in a standoff with Benjamin Foster. So Benjamin Foster is at her home right now. That's what the police believe, as she is fighting for her life in a hospital. She was found on Tuesday, tied up, severely beaten, near death. Police saying it was horrific. Police also saying that they think Foster has no intention of returning to prison after what happened on Tuesday. He apparently took off after they found Justine in a 2008 Nissan Sentra. And the SWAT team raided the place where he was, but he got away. The FBI, the U.S. Marshals, led the search for him. And as I mentioned, it brought them right back here today, where they believe they saw him enter this home. I'm going to do an interview now with somebody who has to remain anonymous just because of the danger that's involved here. Excuse me. Her name, we're calling her Sylvia. She's on the phone. And she knows not only Justine Siemens, has known her for 20 years, but she also knows Benjamin Foster. Can you hear me, Sylvia?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you update me and let me know how Justine's doing?
As far as we know, she's still in critical condition. I have heard some talk that she is possibly responsive, but I haven't been able to completely confirm that. But last I knew, she was still in critical condition at the hospital.
Sylvia, we're seeing pictures of Justine, of your friend right now. Can you give me any indication of how she knew Benjamin Foster and what kind of a relationship she was in with him and how that relationship was forged?
As far as anybody knows, it was a very new, I wouldn't say relationship. They had a working relationship as well as had just recently started spending a little bit more time with each other. But as far as relationship or dating or anything like that, I wouldn't say that would be accurate.
And there's a picture of her that we just showed with a little child. Does she have a child, a small child?
No.
Okay. And when you said that a working relationship, Sylvia, does that mean they worked in a bar? I had seen reports that Ben Foster was, or maybe still is at some point, a bartender.
They had at one point worked together.
They did. And can you tell me a little bit about Justine? She certainly looks like she's extraordinarily fit, like a bodybuilder. She does not look like she's, somebody who would be weak, that she would have some way of perhaps, defending herself or fighting him off in whatever happened, whatever he did allegedly on Tuesday of last week.
Yeah, Justine, she was a competitive bodybuilder, some time ago. She's a smart and charismatic woman. She's the last person you could think that something like this would happen to. You would, you could say, there's a point where she could have defended herself without knowing the situation and the severity to which Benjamin Foster snapped. It's hard to say because we don't know what position she was in to begin with or what he could have done to possibly subdue her.
So the family, Justine's family, has released this statement. I'm just going to read it. It says, "She will survive this, and as her family, we implore the nation to help bring her attacker to justice." I want to get your thoughts, Sylvia, on the thought that he may be captured imminently. The house he's in, Justine's house, he's surrounded and has been for some time. What are your thoughts?
It's absolutely sickening that he would go back there. Which, I mean, if he's caught, when he's caught, thank goodness that he was brazen enough to do something like that, which hopefully he can be brought he can be brought to justice for Justine. And being able to get him taken into custody would be incredible. But that's just where things start. That's just step
Can I ask you about Ben Foster? Like, what kind of a person did he present as? What did he seem to be like?
Ben was a very quiet person. He always had something going on behind his eyes. You could tell he would be very quiet, but taking in everything around him. A lot of people thought that he would be mean or angry because of his demeanor or his attitude, but he was very quiet and had kind of like you could always tell the wheels were turning, and it was just a slow progression.
Did he have a temper of any kind that you ever saw? Any kind of red flags about the behavior that he had certainly exhibited in Nevada that put him behind bars for, just extraordinarily violent assaults against two different women?
No, that was one thing. You could always tell if he was upset, but it's almost like he was holding everything in and then would take space.
How was the town reacting? I'm assuming this is a fairly small community. And then just to know that this manhunt may be coming to an end right now with this man who I presume may have known a few people as a bartender.
Tensions have been really high this last week. Not only is everybody concerned for Justine and her health and well-being, even small children are concerned, saying, "Oh, is this guy going to show up at our house?" The whole community has been very, upset doesn't even cover the energy that's been going on in our community.
And I know that part of the reason I can't use your name right now is that you're in fear of your life because of this person.
It's a very big concern because of my history with him, and because it's such a small community, I don't really, I didn't want him to be out there and possibly put me or my life in jeopardy as well.
What do you hope happens tonight and then after tonight, Sylvia?
In reference to Ben, I don't think I would be able to say on air what I would like to happen. But
Sylvia,
justice for Justine is what we can ask for right now, and her full recovery and being able to come home to everybody who loves her and cares about her, as well as getting it out there that this man used dating apps to possibly find somebody else. And there's a lot of different things we can take away from this, but Justine making a full recovery is what we really want to see right now.
Sylvia, I can't thank you enough for helping us to, really bring her into the center of this story. This story is about her now as she struggles to survive what happened to her, and then hopefully see justice that is playing out possibly as we speak. Sylvia, thank you, and please, if you're able to, please pass on our thoughts and our prayers to Justine and her family.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Again, we weren't using her real name, but Sylvia, 20 years a friend of Justine's, and obviously hoping for a full recovery, but she is on life support, as we're told, in a hospital.